Hey Food Allergy Mama, the new school year might feel like it's months away, but trust me, what you do now can make all the difference when that first bell rings. Whether you're sending your little one to preschool for the first time or navigating middle school with food allergies, the steps you take today can make the transition smoother, safer, and a lot less stressful. In this episode, I'm sharing 3 things you can do now to set your child up for success this fall, because the last thing you want is a last-minute scramble for paperwork, safe snacks, and meeting with the school that's already in full swing. Plus, stick with me to the end because I'll tell you one mistake many parents make that can actually make things harder when school starts and how to avoid it. Let's get to it. Hey Food Allergy Mama, if you're here, you've likely experienced the scary and lonely food allergy diagnosis with your child. Unfortunately, food allergy parents aren't taught how to navigate the food allergy lifestyle, and it's easy to feel alone and discouraged sometimes. But I'm here to show you that food allergy life doesn't have to feel restrictive, scary, or isolated. I'm Corinna, and I'm a 17-year food allergy mom and food allergy coach at Friendly Pantry Consulting. I specialize in making food allergy life safer and less worrisome for food allergy families like yours. I'm not perfect, but over 17 years, I've learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sharing the secrets and resources you won't hear anywhere else that will help you feel confident living with food allergies faster and easier than I did. From introducing allergens, travel, navigating school, and educating friends and family, this podcast will give you the essential tips and strategies you need to help your food allergy child and family thrive. Welcome to the show. Want an easy guide to empower your child so they can help keep themselves safe as they become more independent? My Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide is designed for kids aged 2 to 7 years old, so they are prepared for daycare, preschool, and school. Grab it for free at www.friendlypantry.com/empowerment. Back to school season always seems to sneak up faster than we expect, and for food allergy parents, preparation is everything. So taking a few key steps now can help avoid that last-minute stress and ensure your child starts the year with the right safety measures in place. The best place to begin is to make sure that all of your child's medical paperwork is updated and ready to go. You can start this step by making an appointment with your allergist as soon as possible. Take it from me, you do not want to leave this until right before school starts because it's not going to be easy to get an appointment because everyone is going to be trying to do the same thing. So start early, get your appointment now as soon as possible. While you're visiting, you want to ask about your child's allergy action plan. Do you have one? If not, your allergist might have a plan, or you can get a template from the Food Allergy Research and Education website. If you do have one, is it up to date? Is it going to work for school? Talk to your doctor about all of these things. You can also ask your school for any necessary medical forms that they need from your doctor and make sure you get them filled out by the allergist. Of course, you always want to check your expiration dates on your epinephrine autoinjectors or epinephrine devices and refill them if needed for the full school year. The second thing you want to do is to start empowering your child by teaching and practicing independence skills. So if you have a child that's between 2 to 7 years old, go ahead and grab my free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide because you're going to get a full list of skills that you can teach your child and fun ways to do it on a daily basis. And it's free. You just get it at friendlypantry.com/empowerment. And the free guide has a lot of skills, but I want to highlight a couple today. And the first one is basically teaching them how to advocate for themselves in a basic way at this stage. This can take some time to build. They're not going to be able to do it perfectly right from the start, and it doesn't necessarily come easy for lots of kids. I find there's kind of a balance to forcing them to talk for themselves and actually talking for them. It's hard to find that balance sometimes, and I think I struggled with this because I had quieter kids, like kids that just didn't want to really talk in general, let alone talk about their allergies to anybody. So I sometimes wondered if there were times when my daughter would ever feel confident enough. But I specifically remember when this all changed, and we had gone out to a restaurant with some family, and my kids were sitting with their cousins at one of the end of the table and the adults were on the other. And usually we need to watch the kids order and help my daughter explain her allergies, but this time she was kind of sitting a bit further away, so we didn't jump right in, and she did it completely on her own. Of course, I was slyly listening and making sure that she told the waitress everything she needed, and I have to say she did an amazing job. She was clear and she explained it well, and this was a full circle moment. I was so proud of her, and it just goes to show that when you put the time in, the kids are listening and they are moving forward, even if you don't notice it. So all the hard work and teaching start to show, and it really makes you happy as a parent, and it makes you one proud parent. So I want to let you know, if you're feeling this way that I did, where I wasn't sure if my kids would really take that next step, I want you to know that all of the work you put into it is working, and you will see that it happens at some point. So don't give up. Another skill that I want to talk about today came about surprisingly for us, and I have a story about it, but I want you to think about teaching your child that they never have to eat food to be polite. They're going to need this skill at recess and lunchtime. And I know, of course, it goes against what we're taught in society because we share food and that's polite, and we, give it to each other. We're generous, but we have to be able to teach our kids that they don't have to take food when it's not safe for them. And it is a great phrase that you can equip them with is just basically saying, "No, thank you, I have food allergies." It's simple, easy to remember, and gets the point across. Now, the reason why I learned this, I actually didn't ever think of teaching my child this until she actually ran into a problem at school where I think she was in about grade 1 or 2, and her friends were trying to share food with her at recess. And I specifically remember her coming home from school and telling me that her friends were mad at her. And honestly, it took me a while to really understand what she meant, because I was getting, the broken story from a young kid. They don't really know how to explain it. But I was able to figure out that her friends were mad at her because they were trying to share a treat with her and she kept refusing. So I guess in a 6-year-old's mind, refusing something you're trying to share is a slight. So I sent a message to the teacher and she was able to make a point to talk about it with the friends involved. But it's so important that your child is not pressured. And this is just, I guess, another form of peer pressure, and that your child feels comfortable saying no, and saying no to, of course, foods, but even as things go on, saying no to other things as well. So empowering them in this way is going to help them in a wide range of things as they grow older. The third skill that I want to talk about is self-carrying the epinephrine. So lots of parents aren't really sure about whether their child is ready to carry the epinephrine themselves, and when should they be ready. I mean, really, if this is you, I want you to go to episode number 19. It's called Kindergarten Readiness. And in that episode, I give you a list of essential questions that are going to help you decide if your child is ready to self-carry their epinephrine. So even if your child is older than kindergarten, check out that episode because the questions there will work for any age. Either way, self-carrying isn't necessarily a skill that they need for kindergarten if you're able to work something else out with the school or the teacher, but it is something that you will want to start working on soon if you haven't already. Now, I just want to qualify or clarify that self-administering and self-carrying are very different things. I think it's important to realize, and I don't think that we should expect our kids to administer epinephrine if a reaction was happening, because it really should be up to an adult. And what happens if one of their reactions was fainting? They'd never be able to self-administer. So it's important to make sure that you're not putting too much responsibility on your child. And of course, you're going to know whether it's too much or not, but just consider that they may not even be able to self-administer, even if you feel like they are ready to be able to do that. So I think it's so important that we really educate the teachers around them, and so that they know what to do and make sure that they're doing it. And this brings me to my last point, which is that you're going to want to meet with a school and make a plan. If you can meet with a school before that whole fall rush, and meaning I would try in the spring before school even lets out for the summer, but if you can meet sometime between spring and before the fall rush, I think that's the most ideal, because when you're meeting with a teacher that is really distracted because it's the beginning of the year, they've got so much going on, they can't really focus, it might not be the best combination. So as early as possible, talk with the school about how you're going to manage food allergies. And maybe that means that you're going to get a 504 plan if you were in the US. Of course, 504 plans are only available in the US, but you don't require a 504 plan. But if you feel like you need one, then definitely get one. Otherwise, you're going to look at all the accommodations, and you definitely want to talk with the teacher as well. So don't let it be that you're only meeting with the nurse and the administrator or principal. You need to meet with that teacher, because they are the ones who are going to be with your child every single day. They're going to be the first point of contact for your child and for you, and they're the ones creating the policies for their classroom, and they're the ones who are going to be doing the curriculum and figuring out exactly what kind of food items are going to be needed and all of that. So you really need to talk with the school, but you also really need to talk with the teacher. But all of that being said, your school may not actually allow you to talk with your teacher until fall. And that might be because they don't even know who that teacher is going to be yet. Because some teachers change jobs over summer, and so many times the school won't even assign classrooms until right before the school year starts. So this is what our school did, and even though I didn't prefer meeting with a teacher at the beginning of the year when things were super busy, we were able to make it work. And it's important to work with your school to see what's going to work for them too. Those are the things that I would do now in the springtime to start preparing for your child for school. But I don't want you to forget that there are actually some really important items that you need to buy as school supplies. And no, you don't need to do that now. You can do that a little bit later. But think about things like allergy bracelets. And allergy bracelets do take a little while to order. So make sure that you're looking at your school supplies at least a couple of months before school starts. I have a blog post with a list of items to buy for your child, and I will post that in the show notes so that you can check out what you need in a couple of months. But I hope this episode was helpful. I know that when we first started school with food allergies, I had no idea what I should do and when. And I hope this helps really clear things up for you, helps you to remember the most important things, because starting these steps now means that you're going to have less stress when school rolls around, and you're going to feel more confident. Not only you, but your child and your teacher will feel more confident too. If you found this episode helpful, then I want you to check out my school allergy plan template. This template is going to help you discuss food allergy safety with your school and your teacher so that you can ensure they're fully prepared to help your child stay safe and included at school. You don't need to worry constantly or spend hours and hours researching about this. I'm going to pop the link in the show notes so you can get the help you need before school starts. So how do you prepare for school in this fall? Let me know if there's anything I missed by sending me a message on Instagram @friendlypantry. Thanks for listening, and bye for now. Before you go, Mama, if you love this episode and want deeper support, head over to friendlypantry.com to see how we can partner together to keep your food allergy child safer and worry less. There's no need for wasting time searching all over Instagram, TikTok, and the web to get the practical knowledge you need for your family. While you're there, grab your free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide or the newly diagnosed checklist today. Topics are not medical advice and are the opinions, views, and property of Friendly Pantry Consulting Incorporated. All rights reserved. Always contact your board-certified allergist, immunologist for health advice.